Speaker 1.
My cousin has just got married, and he and his wife decided to go away on a Mediterranean cruise for their honeymoon. They'd never been abroad before, so they flew to Venice. They checked in and found their ship waiting in the harbour. The passengers were all waiting to get onto the ship, but the crew on board were busy working and getting everything ready, so the passengers had to wait. Finally, the ship set sail on the Saturday afternoon. They sailed down the Adriatic Sea and reached Dubrovnik in Croatia on the Monday morning.
Speaker 2.
Well, my dad works 300 miles away, and so he travels there by plane. He sets off from home at 7 a.m. every morning, and he always boards the plane first. He lands about an hour later and gets a taxi to his office. He says he doesn't mind it. It's like a bus in the sky.
Speaker 3.
We moved here when my mum got a job here about 3 years ago. We go away in the summer. Mum plans amazing road trips for us. Last summer, we travelled over 3,000 kilometres. If we're in a city, we usually go on a tour with a guide, but otherwise, we just let the holiday happen. But as we're travelling so much, we don't really ever unpack. One summer, I slept in 20 different places. And by the end, I think the best thing is getting home.
Speaker 4.
My next-door neighbor has just moved to Taiwan. He lives in Taipei but sometimes has to travel to the other end of the island. It used to take ages, but now there is a high-speed train or a bullet train. The trains almost always run on time. If the train is held up, the rail company gives him a refund. It's really fast, and if he misses one, he can just catch another one. There are lots of trains running throughout the busy times of the day.
Travelling without your parents. Do you go on school trips abroad? Are you planning a summer holiday with your besties and without your parents? If your parents let you go away without them, you should do some of the research and planning yourself. Alice Madison gives you some top tips.
1. What documents to take? If you want to go abroad, you have to take a form of ID with you. This could be a passport or a national ID card, and it has to have your photo on it. You should also check out the rules for under-18s travelling on their own on the website of the embassy of the country you are going to. For example, for some countries, you need to have a letter from your parents giving permission for you to travel alone. If you don't have that, you might find that you are not allowed into the country. You should also buy travel insurance in case anything happens. For example, if you lose your luggage or if you have a medical emergency. 2. Flying. The rules here depend on the different airlines. For most airlines, if you're over 15 years old, you can travel alone. Remember that it's easy to book a flight, but it's also easy to miss it. You should make sure you get to the airport on time. For most flights, you should get to the airport at least 2 hours before your flight. Although if you are travelling to the United States, it's 3 hours. The airline staff will make you show them your ID again. It's normal, so don't worry about that. 3. Where to stay. For accommodation, you should book a youth hostel because it's cheaper and also you'll be able to sleep in the same room as your friends. You shouldn't choose somewhere that closes its doors at 8 p.m. Many cheaper flights arrive after dinner, and you don't want to be left out on the street. 4. What to pack. The only person who is going to carry your stuff is you, so you should think carefully about what you need to take with you. You needn't take lots of clothes because most youth hostels have washing machines you can use. You need to check the weather so that you know what clothes to take. If you have a good raincoat, you don't have to take an umbrella. 5. Contacting home. While you're enjoying your holiday with your friends, it's easy to forget about everything else. Use social media to post pictures and videos of all the fun you are having. This will also let your friends and family know that you are safe and having a good time. And, of course, don't forget to call or text your parents every day so that they don't worry.
Welcome on board this international flight to San Francisco. My name's Karen and I'll be looking after you this evening, along with my cabin crew colleagues Billy, Suki and Juan. Together we speak English, Spanish and Chinese, so please ask if there's anything we can do to make your flight more comfortable. We apologise for our late departure this evening due to the weather conditions. However, the captain has just informed me that we should reach our destination only about 10 minutes later than expected, at 20 to 11 local time instead of 10:30 p.m. Our flying time will be approximately 15.5 hours. Your individual video screen will provide you with entertainment during the flight. There's a range of films available from action-adventure to documentary films. We also have a brand new comedy channel where you'll find all your favourite shows. We'll soon be coming through the cabin to offer you drinks and snacks, and we'll start the meal service in about 45 minutes' time. On the menu tonight, we have 2 options for the main course, lamb or chicken pie. And for those of you who don't eat meat, we have a tomato pasta dish. There's also a choice of fruit or cake for dessert. A little later, we'll be coming through the cabin again with our great range of products for you to buy on board. We carry a wide selection of perfumes, and this month we're offering fantastic discounts on sunglasses. We also have some great travel products. If you've travelled with us before, you'll be familiar with our in-flight magazine, Discover. This month, we've also published the first edition of our new kids magazine called Explore, which is available for a small charge. That's all from me for now, so sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight.
Teen World Forum. Topic: Life Decisions. Question: How do you make decisions? What advice can you give other people? Jenna, 2:46 p.m.
When I'm having trouble with a decision, I usually write things down because it helps me organise my thoughts. Sometimes I make a table with 2 columns for advantages and disadvantages. I did that when I was trying to choose between Spanish and German classes after school. In the end, I chose Spanish because it's similar to French, which I already speak. And more people speak Spanish, so it might be more useful. When I'm having a hard time making a choice, I also talk to myself out loud. I know that sounds a bit strange, but it actually helps.
Michael, 11:24 a.m.
I hate making decisions quickly because I prefer to think carefully about all the options. For example, I had to choose a topic for a history presentation about ancient Rome, and I spent 4 days reading lots of articles online. After all that, I decided that Roman architecture would be a good topic because there was a lot of information, and I found some great photos that I could use. That's how I often make decisions. I take time to think and explore different ideas, and then after a while, the best choice usually becomes obvious.
Brian, 5:53 p.m.
Sometimes I think too much when I have to make a decision. I think and think again, and when I finally made a choice, I start to worry that I might be wrong. When that happens to me, I often go for a walk, or I do some exercise to relax and take my mind off the problem. After a while, I can think calmly, without feeling so worried and stressed. The time of day is also important for me. I have a hard time making decisions in the morning or in the late evening when I'm tired.
Emily, 3:19 p.m.
When I need to make a decision, I always talk to people that I trust. Sometimes it's enough to chat about the problem and hear what other people have to say. Other times I ask for practical advice and suggestions. I usually ask my friends or close relatives, but there's also a guidance counsellor at our school. She's really patient and she always has time to listen. I had an appointment last week to talk about my options for university, and she's given me some things to read before our next meeting. Choosing a career isn't easy.
Hey Molly, are you going to be here in July? You know, after classes finish for the summer.
Yes, I am. My parents haven't got holidays until the 1st of August, so I'll be here all month. Why do you ask?
Well, I was at the community centre yesterday and I picked up a pamphlet about their summer camps. Look, what do you think?
Oh, you mean summer courses. I thought you were talking about real camps in the forest with tents. You know I don't like camping.
I know, but these are activities at the centre. Well, most of them. There's one camp at our school, in the science lab. That's the one I'm interested in. Why don't you sign up with me?
I don't know. I love science, but I don't want to be indoors all month in the lab. That's a big disadvantage for me. I prefer to be outdoors in summer. I think the art camp sounds better, but that might be indoors too. I'd need to ask about that. And who's organising the camp? Because it might be interesting or really boring. It depends on the teacher and the other people in the group. You know me. I always ask lots of questions before making a decision like this. I should probably make a list of the advantages and disadvantages, then see which programme is the best.
OK, you've got a point. But I was thinking, how about the outdoor adventure camp? We could do that together and you'd be outdoors all the time.
I'm not sure about the adventure camp. I mean, sports are fun, but it's also really hot in July. I wouldn't mind swimming and maybe cycling, but I'm not a big fan of hiking, and I hate football. Do we have to participate in all the activities, or can we choose? The pamphlet doesn't give much information.
I know, you're right. I just wanted to show you the choices. We can go to the community centre together and ask for more details if you want. Maybe they've got other programmes too. My sister does volunteer work there, teaching classes for older people who don't know how to use the internet.
OK, that sounds like a good idea. You know me, I need time to think about things. I hate making decisions without enough information. I should also talk to my family. That always helps me decide.
I understand you, but I don't think about things as much as you do. I know what I like, so it's easy for me to choose. And if I'm wrong, well, it's not that important.
You're so funny! How can you be so relaxed about everything?
What about you? Why do you worry so much about everything?
Hi everyone, my name's Lisa and I'm from an organisation called Teen Travel. I'm here to talk to you about the language exchange programmes we run. What is a language exchange programme? Well, you're all learning Spanish, so in your case, you would travel to Spain to stay with what's known as a host family, who have a teenager your age. Your homestay, as we call it, includes living with the family for a week and taking part in everyday life. Most trips happen not during summertime, when the school holidays are, but during term time instead. This is so you have the opportunity to go into school with your partner, which is a great way to improve your language skills really quickly, because you won't be able to speak English. Some of the activities you take part in depend on the family you stay with. If they usually go to a restaurant for dinner on Wednesday evenings, for example, then you will too. If your partner loves going to the sports centre, you'll go too. On 2 evenings each week, the Teen Travel Organisation holds social events, which everyone attends. This could be a party, for example, or if the town has interesting places to see, such as a castle or museum, we might go there. This is so you get even more practice speaking Spanish. What's included? You won't have to pay extra for your flights, and accommodation is free. Meals are also included in the price of the trip, but if you want snacks while you're out, you should take a small amount of cash. If you'd like to find out more, go to our website and read reviews from students who've already done an exchange. You can also email me at lisabentley@teentravel.org. My surname's spelt Bentley. Right, so does anyone have any questions?
Miro Siegel's Real-World Schooling Adventure. A few years ago, Miro Siegel and his mother set off from their home in Los Angeles and began travelling. Since then, Miro hasn't been to school. He is being educated through world schooling. Homeschooling Teen magazine asked Miro about his experiences.
How many countries have you visited? Which ones did you like best?
I've been to 14 countries, and Guatemala and Peru are at the top. Guatemala for its colorful and vibrant culture, and Peru for its outstanding archaeological sites.
What other countries are on your list of must-see places you want to visit?
Greece, Turkey, Japan, and India.
What do you like best about travelling?
Definitely the freedom that comes with it. The world is full of places to explore, and I think it's foolish to stay in one place for the majority of your life.
Is there a negative side to being a world traveller?
The largest problem I can see is that there's a severe lack of community whilst traveling. I've yet to meet any other like-minded people my age during my 5 years on the road.
What do you like doing in your spare time?
I read, write, or play video games. We're currently living in a mountain town, and I enjoy hiking up the mountains.
How would you describe the concept of unschooling and what it means to you?
Unschooling simply means I have the freedom to do what I want. I'm in charge of my own education, so I can study what I want, when I want, and how I want.
Do you have any favourite subjects?
Literature is certainly at the top, and I like mythology.
What have you learned from your adventures?
I've learned that the world is a safe place and that everything will work out in one way or another.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I honestly don't know. I haven't planned that far ahead yet. Eventually, I want to become a writer, but I don't know how that's going to happen.
What would you recommend to other teens who might like to travel?
Don't be afraid and pack light. Those are the two keys to travel. Be open to new experiences and step outside of your comfort zone.
Comments. Blue Sky Annie.
Sounds fantastic. Life's a journey. If you don't travel, you won't know what you're missing. Where are you going next on your travels?
Jogo.
My parents have decided to take me and my sister on a trip to Asia. We're going to Thailand and Vietnam, and we aren't coming back until August. Our plane leaves on Monday. I can't wait.
Have you heard of Vedangi Kulkarni?
No, I haven't. Who's that?
Well, she studies sports management at Bournemouth University. She's going to cycle round the world, and she's only 19 years old.
Wow, that's amazing. But why?
Well, basically, she wants to beat the world record. She wants to be the fastest woman to ride around the globe.
Gosh, how long will that take?
On her website it says that she's aiming to complete the journey in 100 days. Apparently, the current world record is 144 days.
So will she still be cycling in 3 months' time?
Yes, she will. But she'll be travelling by plane on some of those days.
Flying? Is that allowed?
Well, she can't cycle across oceans, can she?
Oh, of course. She'll have to fly between continents.
Yes. Apparently, she'll be riding more than 320 kilometres a day. That's about 14 hours on the bike every day.
Wow. She'll be exhausted. So, how far will she be travelling in total?
The whole journey is nearly 29,000 kilometres, and she'll be riding through 15 countries. Look, there's a map of her route here. When she starts, she'll be setting off from Perth, and then she'll be riding through Australia and New Zealand. Then she flies to North America and cycles through Alaska and Canada. Next is Europe and Russia, then finally China, before she goes back to Australia.
Wow. It sounds like a really huge trip. I hope she's prepared.
Yeah, she's done some big bike trips before. For example, she grew up in India and she cycled across the Himalayas alone when she was 17.
Impressive. And will she be travelling alone on this trip too?
Yes, she will. Although she'll be meeting a film crew in a few weeks' time to film her journey.
Oh, great. It'll be good to see the film.
Yes. I hope she can do it. And I hope she breaks the world record.
Yeah. It'll definitely be an unforgettable adventure. Would you do it?
What? Cycle round the world?
Yeah.
No way. Maybe a smaller trip like, I might cycle from London to Brighton for charity.
Well, I definitely won't be riding around the world when I'm 19. That's way out of my comfort zone.
Hello.
Hi.
I think you were on the same flight as me into Bangkok last week. You were in the row in front of me.
Oh, wait. Yeah. I helped you with your bag. How's it going?
Awesome. Yeah, great country.
Amazing. Hey, do you want to join me?
Are you sure? You looked like you were pretty involved in your book.
Yeah, no, I mean, please, take a seat. So, how long have you been here in Chiang Mai?
Since yesterday. You?
A couple of days.
So, have you been round the city much?
No. When I got here, I went to the night market. And then I had a late night. So I didn't do much yesterday. Have you been to the market?
No, but I'm thinking of going there later for something to eat.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So, you haven't been round the old town and the temples yet then?
Well, I had to walk round the old medieval walls, but that's about it so far.
Really?
Yeah. But I guess I might go and have a look around later on. I'm really into temples. Have you visited Sukhothai?
No, but it's supposed to be amazing. I'd love to go sometime during my trip.
Yes, it's wonderful there. I mean, there are all these incredible ancient temples and remains, but they're also in this amazing landscape.
Ah, okay. So you've been there before?
Yeah, I've been to Thailand 3 times now, and to Sukhothai twice. I did a lot of sightseeing stuff on my last trip, so if I don't make it there this time, it's not the end of the world.
Fair enough. So am I right in thinking you're more into the landscape of the country now? Nature and stuff?
Yeah, I guess. Have you been out into the countryside near Chiang Mai?
Yeah, I did some rafting down the river, a little bit north of here. It was really cool.
Yeah, I went on a zip wire across a waterfall. It was awesome.
Wow, I love that. What else have you done round here?
Well, tomorrow I'm going to this elephant reserve.
Wow, can you ride them there?
No, it's more of an environmental thing. The elephants have been rescued and live as they would in the wild. You can help look after them and go on walks through the jungle and that kind of thing.
Oh, I love that. Have you booked that already?
Yeah, but there might be spaces left if you're interested. They have an office down the road.
Oh, wow, that'd be great. You don't mind if I come along with you?
Of course not.
Welcome back to Lifelines, the programme that tries to make everyday life just a bit more manageable. Today we have with us Penny Marshall, professional life coach in the business sector. She's joined us to talk about commuting and how to survive it. Penny, nice to have you on the show. So, how long do people spend commuting each day?
Well, people in the UK spend an average of 45 minutes travelling to and from work. That's longer than in other European countries and works out at about 139 hours a year, or 19 working days. Of course, transport problems like train delays and cancellations or traffic jams can make your commute considerably longer.
So what can people do?
Well, of course, people use different forms of transport to get to work. So let's start with travellers by train. It sounds simple, but if your usual train is always packed, why not try an earlier or later one? Many bosses are flexible about hours, provided they know when to expect you. Setting off half an hour earlier or later might mean you get a seat in a quieter carriage. It's worth a try.
But what about if all the morning trains are full, or if there is a delay?
Sure, and this is the reality for hundreds of people every day. My advice is to plan your journey. Take something to do. Preferably something you enjoy rather than work. So, reading a book or magazine, doing a puzzle or writing a letter to a friend. Or why not try something creative? Several of my clients take knitting on the train. Try anything that keeps your mind off the journey and has some positive result.
Good advice. But what if you can't get a seat? A lot of commuters have to stand on the train.
Of course, you're right, and that can be very uncomfortable. People don't like losing their personal space and can get very stressed. In these cases, try accepting the situation and relaxing your mind. Focus on your breathing and think of something nice. A place that you love, a happy experience or a funny conversation. And try not to talk to other commuters for too long.
That's surprising. Why is that?
Well, it's okay to chat for a few minutes, but talking for a long time can be tiring. And if you are in a group of stressed people who are all complaining about the trains, you will end up in a really bad mood yourself.
Yes, I see. That makes sense.
One other tip is to try a bit of exercise. Not aerobics, of course, but if you tense and then relax every muscle in your body, from your head to your toes, it can get rid of stress. Car drivers can try that too.
Thanks for that, Penny. Stay tuned and we'll be back in a second with more interesting advice for commuters. But first, here's a taste of what's to come.